You used to call me on my. You used to. Yeah. You used to call.
Got your drink. What up, family? My name is Chris Ramsey, and welcome to another edition of The Shift. Thanks for tuning in this week. I've got a pretty cool show for you guys as we are reviewing two brand new, well, I'd say one brand new product and one product that already is out there, but that is new to us at Murphy's. So we'll be having a look at Gone Deck by Shin Lim, as well as a playing card review for the Red Wheels cards by Danny Dave. But before we get into that, let's announce the winner of last week's contest. I know a lot of you are looking forward to that as we were giving away two great prizes, very visual prizes. We were giving away 52 Shades as well as Camera Tricks by Kashawn Wallace. And the winner of that is Ryan McCurley. Congratulations, Ryan McCurley. Hit us up, facebook.com/Murphy's Magic Supplies, and we'll send that out to you ASAP. To win this week's contest, simply like this video once again and comment below what you thought of the products or the show, and we'll pick one of you to take home these prizes next week. So good luck. Alright, before we get into this episode, just a reminder, I will be at Blackpool starting next week. So the shift of the following week, the week after this one, will be a pre-recorded shift, and hopefully by the time I get back and after I'm done editing, I'll be able to bring you all the Blackpool goodies on the next episode, so in 2 episodes. So don't fret, there will still be prizes given away, and there will still be awesome reviews and hopefully a good show. So stay tuned. All right, let's get into Gone Deck. Let's start with Gone Deck. Have a look at some of the performances for the Gone Deck, and then we'll talk about it after this. So that basically was Shin Lim performing Gone Deck. It looks very visual, it's eye candy, right? So what you get, let's start with that. You get this box. In this little box, I'm not going to show you what's inside, but you do get a link and you get the cards necessary to build the gimmick. And not just the cards, the props. So, I sat back and I tried to build this gimmick. Now, last episode, I built something from 52 Shades, which was the Picasso change, which already took me like a half an hour. Well, this one's not any different, and frankly, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm disappointed not because I had to build anything, but I am disappointed because of the type of build it was. It's a very intricate build. Now, I'm not going to get into details, but among splitting things and among using different types of glue and all sorts of things. There's a lot going on, and it's easy for someone to get discouraged while building. Now, Shin, if you're watching this, I enjoy your work, but at the same time, the things that you do to prepare your card gaffs are things that you are familiar with, and that most of us, I would say the general percentage of people buying this, are not familiar with a lot of the techniques that you're using to build gimmicks. And so when you provide one gaff material, right, it's hard for us to not mess up. So we're gonna mess up, and then it's gonna look like garbage, and then we have nothing to use again. So we have to remake everything from scratch, and to me, it just doesn't make sense. Yes, the effect is great. I think we'll talk about that in a second, but I just really want to talk about the construction part, because I think if you're going to buy a product for whatever it costs, and if it costs over $20, I think over $20, you should be getting a gimmick supplied. Now, I know that would be labor intensive, and that would be probably not as cost effective, but I think a lot more people would appreciate it. Because just throwing a bunch of stuff in a box and saying, here's how you build it, it comes off to me as being a little bit lackluster. As I'm so excited to perform this. I saw the trailer. I was like, man, I can't wait. I get it. I have to build it for half an hour. And then I did build it, and it looked nothing like the trailer, because I'm not a good builder as you are. And that's just facts. So I love the product. I think it's great. I actually, so this is very, very close to unboxing. In fact, it's like the same effect. Shin says it's a different method, but they both have sort of presentations that are very, very, very similar. Nick Lawrence, so Shin says in the beginning that him and Nick Lawrence get along, and he let Nick Lawrence release unboxing, and he waited for a bit to release Gondak because he had teased it before. And now he's come out with a whole bunch of new handlings. Now, I would say a lot of the handlings aren't really good in person. They're really great on camera, however, which is fine. Some of the handlings are just fantastic. They look like real magic. They look like, trickery, like camera tricks, which I think is really cool. Unfortunately, I couldn't do any of it because I don't have a gimmick. So, pardon my rant. I don't mean to come down on you. I love your stuff. I love your work. But at the same time, man, with this type of stuff, you had like a year between unboxing, and now I don't understand why you wouldn't have had it built. Now, I get it that you had the issues at USPC and this and that, but excuses, because if we had to build it, then, along the lines, I think somebody could have built it for us. My 2 cents. So on this project, you do get a list. You get a site link, and then you get a list of chapters, and I think it's really cool. You also get bonus effects by Tom Elderfield, which are really creative. So all in all, this is a pretty complete project, excluding the gimmick. I think everything else is really well put together, and I think they did a good job producing it. So check out Gondak by Shin Lim. Alright, next up, we are going to have a look at Red Wheels playing cards, so let's do that now. Alright, so we're going to have a look at the Red Wheels playing cards by Dan and Dave. Here's the tuck box. You have a beautiful design. I love these little skulls here. Around the side here, air cushion finish, made in the USA. That is the back design, which I think is fantastic, with a gold seal and a nice little sort of sugar skull here. These are made by DKNG, a California-based design company. Up here, Poker 1984, I'm guessing is either the year this company started, or maybe just this has like a 1984 feel to it. And over here it says, know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. I think that's a line from Kenny Rogers relating to poker. So this is actually one of my favorite decks. This has become one of my favorite decks, not only because of the design, I think the design is great, but also because the cards feel amazing. Now let's have a look at that. Let's open up this pack. Alright, so on the inside of the flap here, we also have air cushion finish, made in the United States. Shuffle up and deal written there, which is kind of cool. You got the repeated skulls. Everything here is also embossed. So this is a nice little embossing. Let me see if I can get a closer look on that for you. We got a beautiful embossing here on these as well. You roll out the cards. We get the Joker here. Art of Play. Obviously this is a Dan and Dave affiliate, and they give you sort of this blue backed card, which I think is kind of cool. Also has the red back on this side, sort of an ad card. So right out of the box, this is what the fans look like. Very nice. So the borders are just the right thickness. This is not too thick, not too thin. These are pretty much spot on. They feel light, so there's this thing that USPC does with cards now, is that they actually crush them, and they crush them so that they're thinner. You might notice a lot of these cards coming out of USPC are either thicker or thinner. It doesn't actually have to do with the stock, but actually just about how much they've crushed that stock. And so this one has been crushed, so you have that. It almost feels like there's a few cards missing in this deck, even though this has 54 cards in it right now, or 56 rather. All right, so that was the first ad card that you get. Also, this box is made of this sort of, I would say, the cardboard isn't glossy, it's matte. So this is like that. You might find this in a lot of different boxes, a lot of different tuck case designs. A lot of people are playing around with this. Here are the cards. They look absolutely beautiful. I love the retro feel. They have a very Scandinavian design, sort of mid-century modern design to them, which I absolutely love. The foil on these cards, not the foil, but the ink actually used here. Let me see if I get a close up. The ink used is actually a metallic ink, so if we can get a little bit of a reflection on that, you kind of see it has this little bit of a sheen to it. Here it says DKNG Studio and Joker, so you got two absolutely identical Jokers. Oh wow, I just noticed that they were not identical, so one of them is actually lighter than the other. Check that out, I didn't know that. So of course, if you're using them for Magic, I don't think anyone would really notice the difference. You can use that as a duplicate, which I think is cool. The ace looks like so. It has a bicycle on it. I love how they tied in the old sort of classic bicycle style and modernized it. I love the font on the indices. They look great. The pips, amazing. DKNG Studio down here once again. And all of the arrangement of the pips as well are very unique. So the way they've arranged them, and they sort of have those multicolored pips. I love this. I love the assortment. Like I said, they have this sort of mid-century modern design feel to them. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now the face cards are something that are really beautiful as well. So I've been over this before, but decks of cards, I don't use them like these custom decks. I don't use them if I'm working, but I will use them in casual situations, such as if I'm hanging out at a bar or if I'm at a friend's house or these type of things. I will definitely use them to just hang out, and if anybody asks me for a trick, I do not shy away from using these cards at all, because I think they're a beautiful piece of art. They're fun to talk about when you want to say you get questions from people, say what kind of cards are those, so you can actually talk about the different types of custom cards that exist and inform them a little bit. So I really love carrying, these types of cards with me. Not necessarily when I'm working, however. There are the diamonds. So the diamonds look pretty cool as well. The ace, once again, is blown up. Looks really cool. You have that dual color again with the red and gold, which I think, once again, has that sort of Scandinavian design to it, which I really love. And as you notice, like, the kings are different. They're not always repetitive. They're different. They're colorful, vibrant. I absolutely love this deck. Here, let's check out the hearts here. Look at that. It's just a great all-around deck of cards. And you have the last ad card, which I think is kind of cool, as I think Art of Play is a company that not only sells cards to collectors, but also to people who like to play cards. So you have here sort of card that you can use as any card at all. So if you lose a card, this is a wild card. It says, need to replace a lost card. Circle a rank, suit, and ante up. So basically, if you're missing a Jack of Hearts, you circle the Jack of Hearts, and this is now the Jack of Hearts. So not the best. Maybe there's a magic trick there somewhere. So let's see how these handle. I know they handle very well. So they feel, these cards actually feel broken in. From the second you get them, they feel like they're a broken in deck of cards. They look amazing. They are not traditionally cut, as I don't think a lot of cards nowadays are. I think that's just the way USPC does their. So you can't really ferro from the bottom, as you'll feel that resistance. I mean, you can, but I always recommend ferroing from the top with these ones, as it's much smoother. It goes in like butter. So there you have it. These are the Red Wheels by DKNG Studios and Art of Play, or Dan and Dave, available at your favorite authorized Murphy's Magic dealer. Some of my favorite cards. I would say my top 5 favorite cards of all time. Absolutely love these guys. Check them out. Back design. Oh, by the way, these are a one-way back design. I forgot to mention. Not really a problem because it's so subtle. We have clubs, hearts, diamonds, and spades. So you have the 4 suits there. Which could tell you the orientation of the card. Once again, maybe a magic trick there. I don't really think it matters. I think they're just lovely cards. They handle amazingly. They feel great, and they look even better. So there you have it, the Red Wheel playing cards. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me this week. I will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Have a safe and happy weekend for what's left of it, and we'll see you then. Peace.